Welcome to Spring Creek Christian Preschool. My name is Melanie Falvis. I am the founder and the executive director of Your Preschools Incorporated and Your Preschools Nonprofit Incorporated. I'm standing in our site, which is on the Beamsville Vineland Mountain on Spring Creek Road. This one is nicely located in a very modern church, and we have 3 classrooms here. We have 2 toddler rooms, and then we have our Casa classroom. We're going to check that out first. This is our Casa classroom. We have enough space for 16 Casa children. A Casa ranges from age 2.5 to senior kindergarten. So it's a multi-age classroom. The younger children are learning from the older children, and the older children are examples in helping the younger children. So with 16 children here, we would have 2 educators on staff. We hire educators who are RECEs, Montessori qualified, and teachers. So here you're going to find the Montessori setup of 5 different learning areas. This is the sensorial area of a Casa classroom. You will see some of the staples of a Montessori classroom, such as the brown stairs, the pink tower, and the red rods. These are materials that you would see in a typical Montessori Casa classroom. These materials are great. They are teaching the children to arrange things from thickest to thinnest, longest to shortest, and biggest to smallest. The children would take these materials out and they would put a mat on the floor. That mat then defines their workspace. So if somebody is working with the brown stairs, for instance, and somebody else comes along, they would ask the first person if they can join in. This helps cut down on the conflict in the Montessori classroom. The child would arrange these brown stairs from thickest to thinnest, and after they're finished, the materials are self-correcting, so they can actually see if they have done it correctly. If they have done it correctly, the smallest piece is going to fit flush in the crook of each step. Very similar, the red rods are arranged from longest to shortest, and the shortest red rod will fit together, and then the pink tower from biggest to smallest. Also in the sensorial area, children are learning about different shades, they are learning about different textures and different sounds. Behind me we have our math area. So in the math area, we start with some numbers. These are made with sandpaper, so the children are actually able to trace them, and they can trace numbers on math sheets as well. So with these green numbers, we might play a little game. We might just, let's go around the classroom and find 1 book. Let's go around the classroom and find 2 pencils. So what we're learning to do is count things out one by one, and the children are learning about the quantity. Once the children have mastered working with numbers 0 to 9, they can move on to the teen board, where they're learning to recognize numbers up to 19. From there, we have the 10 board, which works with numbers up to 99. We have the addition strip board. We have jobs that teach them the place columns. Because the Montessori classroom has the children working at their own pace, then the sky's the limit as to how far they can go. We've had children that have finished senior kindergarten here, and they are doing addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. It's our job as the educator to find out what they're interested in and make sure that we continue to stack the classroom with jobs that are appealing and interesting to the children. The practical life area is a really popular part of the Casa Montessori classroom. This is where the children are using their fine motor control, so they're building those skills that they're going to need to open things, to print, to write, all of those things in the future. So the children are operating materials with their fine motor control. Here's an example of them using an Allen key to take bolts and screws in and out. We also have screwdrivers, wood sanding, cutting fruit, lacing, puzzles, flower arranging, many different jobs. In the Montessori classroom, we have a lot of wood and we have a lot of glass, as we like to stick to the natural materials. Our schools are a little bit unique. We are about 90% Montessori and 10% some pieces of the traditional early childhood education classroom. For instance, we have an art shelf out that's always available to the students, and we often have a sensory bin as well. All of our classrooms have a quiet area where the children are welcome to look at books at any time, and a lot of them have the quiet cabin for the children that just need that moment and need to take a break by themselves here. We have 2 more learning areas left in the classroom. We have our cultural area, which is science, geography, and history, and our language area. So history could look like a photo album in the classroom, and the children can see this is what I looked like last year and this is what I look like this year. They're just looking at the progression of time. Geography, we have a high concentration on Canada, the Canadian flag, the parts of Canada, and then go on to the parts of the world as well. And in science, we'll have a lot of hands-on jobs. So the children, this is magnetic and non-magnetic, for instance. And the children are able to take a magnetic wand or a magnet, horseshoe magnet, and they're able to see which items are magnetic and which items are not magnetic. From there, they can classify them on the chart, put the ones that are magnetic here and non-magnetic. So the children are learning in a hands-on way which items are magnetic and which items are not. In our language area, we have a big concentration on the phonetic sounds. So these are our sandpaper letters. They are made with sandpaper, so the children are tracing them and they're learning how to form that letter. We're also concentrating on the sound that the letter makes. So this one would be K for cat, and we would have A for apple and T for tiger. When the children start reading, they need to know K, A, T as opposed to C, A, T. They'll make the natural progression into calling them by their letter names later, but they can have a solid base of the phonics so that they can start reading. We have children that start reading at the age of 3. We have children that are senior kindergarten in reading. We have children that have finished all of our phonetic books and moving on to chapter books here. So again, the sky's the limit as to how far they can go. So most days, we have the children sit with one-on-one with a teacher so that they can go over a sound lesson. So for instance, a child would come along and we would talk about this being K for cat, A for apple, T for tiger. Then we would ask the child, put K for cat on your head, put K for cat on your knee, put K for cat on the table. They're hearing K for cat repeated over and over and over, and that's how we're building that base. We would do the same A for apple, T for tiger, and then move on to their printing. So printing could look like a piece of paper where they're tracing with a marker, or it could be a printing book if that's the stage that they're at. Once they know about 90% of their sounds, then they're moving on to our readers, which are all phonetic based, so that they can build up that confidence in reading. So this has been a look at our Spring Creek Casa classroom. We welcome any questions you might have. You can email us at yourpreschools@gmail.com. Thank you.